5 years ago in 2014, when I started as superintendent, Atlanta Public Schools was coming off the heels of the largest cheating scandal in the history of public education. And as you can imagine, many people were angry. There was a lot of confusion about the future. And on top of that, we were facing long-standing insufficient control of key operating mechanisms for the enterprise, contradictory charter and policy guidance, and disparate educational philosophies for improvement. So we were struggling with having a clear agenda, an agenda for children that would supersede the adult agendas that were there before. We were very excited in 2016 when we were approved as a charter system operating model. For us, it meant that we finally had an anchor for how we were going to implement our strategic plan. At the heart of our application are a couple of things. One, that we would give autonomy and flexibility to schools at the school site level, so those closest to the children and the demographics that they serve could make those decisions. Secondly, we did a complete cluster model. So every part of Atlanta Public Schools has a flagship high school with a signature program, and we backward map that program all the way down to every elementary school that feeds into that middle school and then that high school. So the idea is that there's a clean articulation for how we would do our academic work, but it was also around directing more resources for decision making to the schools.
When we became a charter system several years ago, it changed the narrative in our district. Parents, community members, and staff started to work together in different ways. We weren't necessarily collaborative, and the structure of the charter system is all about how we create that collaboration, how we work together, and how we really focus on the needs of schools. And so what you saw was a huge shift in terms of how people work together around our schools. And so we created GO teams, or school governance teams. We like to call them GO teams. And that body, this 9-member team, is really focused around what can they do to improve student achievement within the school, and they're working in collaboration with the principal.
Something I'm very proud of as far as our school and innovation is really our GO team looking at our data and our priorities and realizing that we could enhance our college and career center. It was always set up and there to support students, but with our GO team, we were able to provide additional support, expand some of the opportunities we give to students and the information that we give, and that was a primary focus of the GO team during this initiation.
What we learned is that we needed more engagement, and the signature programs were part of that kickoff for governing teams. We call them GO teams. And that work is about ensuring that international baccalaureate, science, technology, engineering, and math, and college and career curriculums were established and then managed by people who were parents, educators, community members, a lot of different stakeholders who would assist the school with the decision making.
I love so many things about working APS. Top of my list are the students and all of my colleagues. I have not been in a school district where I learned so much from the people around me. At the end of the day, APS, we really care.
The most positive thing in the new framework for me begins with the end in mind. It's about the graduation rates. So we have seen in the last 5 years a 18.8 percentage point increase in graduation rates. So we now sit at 77.9% graduation rate, which I think is pretty extraordinary. Our dropout rates have also declined, and on Georgia Milestones, we have seen the greatest performance to date. While we really do care about the academics, and that is our core purpose, we also know that whole child development is a piece of that too. So we see that our students are happier in school, we see them participating more in athletics and arts, and we've also seen that our students are doing better on their college gateway tests like ACT and SAT. And that means for APS, knowing where we began and where we are today is a place where people want to work, where students are more inclined to learn, and where parents absolutely want to be engaged. And I think that this year, I'm very encouraged by what I see. I think that that for us, the operating model has made a difference for APS, and I hope that we'll be able to tweak and shape that over time to ensure ensure that the model itself grows and flexes with the future of Atlanta Public Schools.